All right, let's dive into one of those questions that seems so simple, but has basically driven physicists crazy for over 100 years. Why does time only go one way? Forward. We all feel it every single day, but the weird thing is, the basic laws of physics, they say it shouldn't have to be this way at all. So, let's get into it. Okay, think about this for a second. You drop an egg, it shatters, right? We've all seen it. But have you ever, not once, seen the reverse happen? Have you ever seen a gooey, shattered mess on the floor just pull itself back together and leap back into your hand? No way. Of course not. That one-way trip from a perfectly ordered egg to a chaotic mess, well, that's what we call the arrow of time. And here is where things get really, really strange. Our everyday experience, that broken egg, is in a head-on collision with the fundamental laws of physics. Because when you look at the actual equations that describe our universe, from the biggest galaxies to the tiniest particles, they just don't care which direction time is flowing. I mean, this slide just lays it out perfectly. On one hand, the laws of physics are completely time-symmetric. You could watch a video of planets orbiting or two particles colliding, and if you played it in reverse, it would look totally normal, totally plausible. But on the other hand, the actual universe we live in, the one with us and the broken eggs, it is stubbornly, absolutely a one-way street. Now, the answer you usually get in a textbook is entropy. The idea that the universe just naturally goes from order to disorder. But honestly, that's more of a description of what's happening, not why it's happening. It doesn't explain why the universe started in such an unbelievably orderly state in the first place, or what makes this whole process so irreversible. So what if we've been looking at this all wrong? There's a radical new idea that suggests space-time isn't just an empty box that stuff happens in. What if space-time itself is an active, dynamic thing? What if the fabric of reality is constantly vibrating? Okay, so the technical term is an oscillatory phase field. And here's the part that'll bake your noodle. In this model, everything we see isn't made of little bits in space. Instead, matter, energy, you, me, we are all just different behaviors of space. We're like little whirlpools, knots, and stable vibrations in this one fundamental oscillating field. And this quote right here, this is the key that unlocks the whole thing. Forget about disorder. In this new picture, entropy is about how in sync the universe's vibrations are. So low entropy means everything is humming along together, a perfect cosmic choir. High entropy, that means the choir has broken up and everyone is singing their own tune. It's a loss of that shared rhythm. So, if we look at the universe through this new lens, the whole story changes. It's not a story about an explosion of stuff anymore. It's the story of a perfect, single, cosmic vibration, shattering. And it's that shattering that gives birth to time itself. So picture this. Before the Big Bang, there's no time. There's just one, single, perfectly coherent oscillation, everything in perfect sync. Then the Big Bang happens. But it's not an explosion in space, it's a global phase fracture of space itself. It's the moment that perfect cosmic hum shattered into a zillion different out-of-sync regions. And that process, that ongoing fragmentation, that is the arrow of time. Okay, but that brings up a really important question, right? Why is it a one-way street? Why can't all those little fractured bits just sync back up again? Why can't the universe just rewind itself? Well, the answer is kind of cool. It's because of the very things that were created by the fracture. You see, when space-time fractured, some of that vibrational energy got twisted up into these incredibly stable, permanent knots. We call those knots matter. And in other places, the vibration got so tangled up, it created what you could call maximal phase locks, what we know as black holes. So think of all the stuff in the universe, all the matter and black holes, as these permanent physical locks that are structurally preventing space-time from ever snapping back into one coherent piece. And that's really the heart of it. That's the main takeaway. The fracturing of space-time was a one-time deal, and the things it created, these locks, are permanent. This gives time a physical, structural direction. Space-time can shatter into pieces, but it's physically forbidden from ever putting itself back together again. And just like that, the original paradox is solved. At the local level, sure, the physics can seem reversible. You can run the individual gears in a machine forwards or backwards. But the global state of the universe, the topology of it, is like a shattered gearbox. You can't unshatter the whole machine, even if the little gears inside can still spin both ways. So the Big Bang, this global phase fracture, it wasn't just another event. It was a singular event, a one-way transition that can't be repeated and can't be undone. It was the moment, a timeless, perfectly synchronized reality shattered, and in doing so, created a universe that could only move forward in time. And that just says it all, doesn't it? The arrow of time isn't some deep mystery or a statistical accident. It's a physical echo, a remnant of the one time the universe broke its own perfect symmetry and created the messy, evolving, and beautiful reality we live in. So why does an egg break but never unbreak? Because the very fabric of space-time did the exact same thing, just once, a very long time ago.